The Israel Defense Force has conducted a probe into the accidental shooting of a Palestinian child during a gun battle with Palestinian terrorists in the West Bank earlier this month and has found gaps in the chain of command. A 2.5-year-old child, Mohammed Tamimi, was killed when IDF troops responded to shots fired by Palestinian gunmen near Nabi Saleh. So for more, our Middle East correspondent Ariel Oseran is here in studio. So this is a very disturbing situation. An investigation has been conducted already. What did it find? Who is being sanctioned here?
Right, Benita. So the conclusions of the probe into the death of 2.5-year-old Mohammed Tamimi and the wounding of his father in early June were presented yesterday to the head of Israel's IDF Central Command. Now, the findings show that it was basically shots in the air that were by an officer in the company, the military company that was in the area, who came to the scene following gunshots fired onto the area by Palestinian gunmen. His shooting in the air set off a chain of events that led to the misidentification and the death of Tamimi and the injuring of his father. Now, according to the probe, the soldiers at the guard post that was fired on by the Palestinian gunmen could not identify the source of the fire. An officer in the company who came to the area began searching for the suspects. He spotted what he claimed was a suspicious vehicle and fired several shots in the air. This is in violation of the IDF's rule of engagement. Simultaneously, soldiers who were stationed in the position also identified a suspected vehicle, two figures entering the vehicle, and given the shots fired in the air, that created a state of mind that led the soldier, another soldier, to he requested to open fire on the suspects. He was granted that permission, opened fire, and that led to the death of Tamimi and the injury of his father. Now, the examination revealed three key points. One, the inadequacies, as you mentioned, in the chain of command. Another, also inadequacies in communication among the soldiers in the field. That, there was the officer that came wasn't really in communication, or they found inadequacies in his communication with the soldiers at the guard post. But also, the officer who shot in the air, he will be reprimanded for violating the orders. The commanding officer of Central Command, Major General Neveh Tzuf, expressed his sorrow for the harm that was caused to civilians and the death of a toddler. In the IDF statement, he added, "We will continue to learn and improve in order to operate against terrorism in a precise manner." I will just note that following this incident, the U.S. called on the IDF to review its use of deadly force, its rules of engagement, and obviously this comes at the heels of much criticism for similar events. Perhaps the most notable is the death of American Palestinian journalist Shireen Abu Akleh from Al Jazeera during an Israeli military raid in Jenin that has sparked increased U.S. criticism towards Israel's use of deadly force.
And so important that these probes are conducted and that they happen as soon as possible.